Earlier today, a live-action Moana was announced. It was even announced by Maui himself, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, on his social media, and our very own Moana, Auli'i Cravalho, also shared on her socials. Now, what's interesting right now is that Deadline announced the different producers that are going to be on the film. We have Danny Garcia and Hiram Garcia, who are part of 7 Bucks Productions, which is the company that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson owns. There's also Beau Flynn of Flynn Pictures. Executive producers will include the voice of Moana, Auli'i Cravalho, as well as Scott Sheldon, who is a part of Flynn Picture Company, and also Jared Bush. And it was also announced on Deadline that Dana Ladoe Miller will take part of the production. Now, Deadline did not specify this, but I'm happy to say that she will be one of the writers on the movie. This is exciting for me because she is a Samoan European woman who will be a writer on this movie. And you might be wondering, why is Ainsley, who normally makes Bridgerton content, talking about this? I am a proud Samoan, y'all. My Pacifica heritage is something that I've always been proud of before I even started making Bridgerton content. So, if I was to have a wish list for Moana, the live action movie, what would that look like? First and foremost, I hope that they would hire a Pacifica director. And if you read ahead, you can see it literally is just having Pacifica people throughout the film. Many people have said to me before, Ainsley, that's just not possible. I don't think we have the talent. Maybe there's just not enough Pacifica people to do this. And I am happy to say to those people that you are wrong. And I'm happy to say to those people that we do have the talent. Through this page and through my Instagram blog page, I have met so many filmmakers, directors, actors, writers, the list goes on in the entertainment industry, that are Pacifica. To say we can't fulfill this list, I just don't believe it. Now, why do I stipulate like women in some of these roles? Because this story is about a Pacifica girl, right? So who better to tell our stories than Pacifica women? Especially since it was on the back of this woman that we, as Pacific Islanders, Maori, Pacifica people, were really able to have our stories told in the film industry. There is no better way to honor her memory, to tell the story of a young Pacifica girl, than to have a woman who is behind the camera. My next wish is that it has an all Pacifica cast throughout, and that means extras as well. No exceptions. The exception would come in, and I'm going to tell y'all, with my idea for the story of Moana. In a dream world, we would have an entire table full of Pacifica writers, no outsiders. And you may be asking me why, and the reason being is because why do we need an outsider to tell our stories? We had, from my understanding, 2 white men who wrote the original Moana. I just think that an all Pacifica table would be fantastic. Pacifica costume director, it was a white woman from what I remember seeing in the extras who did the animation movie. If you not have seen our mothers, our grandmothers, our aunties at any of our Siva performances or really any Pacifica performances, you could easily have a team of them on set and they would do a fantastic job for costuming. Hair and makeup needed? Do I need to say more? We can do our hair and makeup. We know how to do this hair. A Pacifica music director. I know this man was part of the musical talent for Moana, the animated series, but a lot of credit went to Lin-Manuel Miranda, who was also part of that. And I think we literally could just have our own people do the musical direction. He literally could have done it all. I'm just saying. Tavaka. Need I say more? Okay, now for the story of Moana, here are like the slight changes I would make to the original animated movie. Simply because, there were changes to live actions for Aladdin and Cinderella, etc. So the changes I would make, and Dana's going to do a fantastic job, but this is in Ainsley's world. So we have the basic story of Moana, right? The girl who has this special gift with the ocean. But I kind of want to take it further, right? I feel like we could easily make this Moana knows how to hone the power of the ocean, right? And Moana, she would need to be from a specific island. She needs to either be Samoan, Tongan, Maori, Cook Islands, etc. And in the beginning, Grandma Tala is telling this tale of women who protected the islands, women who harnessed the power of the different islands, or who are able to like partner with these beings, right? So what we would see is like going into the future, right? Moana is like this young girl, and colonizers have come to invade the island. This is where you can get your non-Pacifica cast. And instead of having like Te Fiti basically being Taka when her heart's removed, I think we should have a Te Fiti and a Pele. And Moana is on this journey to find Te Fiti and Pele to help her protect her islands, right? Essentially, Te Fiti and Pele have been dormant for a long time. They've lost their ability to connect to these two beings. And with the help of Maui, they're able to search them out. And the women of the island each hold certain powers, right? And this is where you can even incorporate not just like Pacifica legends, but also like Pacifica history. You could have women who embody the women of the Mau movement, as well as other women advocates from other islands. And each woman from each island has a certain power that they bestow upon Moana to help her find Te Fiti and Pele. And these powers, while they do help protect the islands, they really just need these two beings to really come and like bring it full circle. And so Moana goes on this journey to find these two like dormant beings who haven't been seen in years, and she goes with Maui, who has a special hook who can help her as well. And they do come in contact with other legends from our like history, but the main baddies are the colonizers, and that's just facts. And so like if I was to write the story, it would kind of have like all of this. I am super excited for this to happen. I am just nervous on how they're going to execute because of who's already on the executive producer team right now. I would literally be lying if I didn't say I wasn't nervous, because as many Pacific Islanders as we know, we all saw that Moana float that went by on TikTok, and the girl basically doing the Camp Rock. If Disney can't handle the bare minimum for a live action Moana at their parks, what makes them think we would be able to trust them to do a movie correctly? They have 3 Pacifica people on that executive team out of 8. And there's just some hesitation. And I'm not going to go too much into it, but those are just like my little worries, is like you have 3 Pacifica people who are on that team right now. I've been told that there are more Pacifica people that are going to be a part of this project, which excites me so much. But are they the ones in charge, and are they the ones making the decisions? Because if they are not, missed opportunity. This is a time when you can really uplift the culture, not just in front of the screens and not just in front of people, but also behind the screens. And this is also the perfect opportunity to create the narrative of like Pacifica people coming together, creating the story, and creating this world where our voices are uplifted. I mean, we saw what happened with Black Panther. That is literally doable for our community. And to think that it's not is just showing how limited your vision is. We've got to stop limiting our vision. Like, I don't care if you've been burned by Sione 13 years ago. There's different people here that you can utilize their talent. Just because you got burned from one Pacific Islander does not mean that you have to punish us all. And that's really saying that to anyone. All I'm saying is that this is an opportunity to show that we can thrive, or to just be like, well, I mean, we had people there, but, you know, we just had to make it globally, like, palatable for everyone. We didn't really care about who the audience was. Imagine if Black Panther said that. Imagine if Shang-Chi said that. Imagine if any of these other films that have made huge impacts said that. We have to be brave enough to take those steps and say, we are going to do this authentically for our people, by our people. And in order to do that, you have to cast our people, you have to hire our people, not just in front of the camera, but to promote this film, to write this film, to direct this film, to create the costumes for this film, to literally be in the veins of this film. And I believe with my whole chest that it is possible. It is truly possible. So we'll just have to see. Oh, and by the way, they're making a Lilo and Stitch live action. So that's going to be fun too to talk about. Pacifica people, we're rising up. Let's make sure we do it together.